I was suffering too, seeing him on that situation. So I told him, Bill, if you want to go, just go. He squeezed my hand. He said, okay. So that was the last.
This is the Real Food, Real People podcast.
It's an emotional episode this week, and a story like I've never heard before. It boggles the mind how it all played out for José Torres, who we talked to, a dairy farmer down in Elma, Washington, southwest Washington. And he started working on a dairy and is now owning and running the dairy himself. But there's some heartbreak in how that all came to pass. And so you'll find out about that as we chat with him and learn more about how things work on the farm, some of the issues that he's facing, the struggles, the uncertainty that he's facing for the future of the farm. I'm Dylan Honcoop. This is the Real Food, Real People podcast, and we're glad you're here again for another week of this continuing journey to get to know the real people behind our food here in Washington State. Thank you to our sponsors, Dairy Farmers of Washington. You can find them at wadairy.org. They're all about educating the Washington community about real agriculture and what goes on farms and inspiring the desire for local dairy. They have a virtual farm tour available that you should check out, again, at wadairy.org. You can see all the ins and outs there of what really goes on Washington dairy farms. Also, Manna Insurance Group, a new sponsor this season. Thank you to them for supporting what we're doing here. They're all about planning ahead, not just picking up the pieces when things go wrong, and certainly they do that, and that's what insurance is all about ultimately. But what about planning ahead, having a game plan to protect your financial well-being in the future should anything happen? That's what they do at Manna Insurance Group, with locations here in Washington as well as Arizona and in California. So make sure to connect with those folks and find out more about what they do, mannainsurancegroup.com. Williams, also a sponsor. They're all about serving growing markets to safely and reliably fuel our clean energy future. So thank you to them for supporting the podcast. And Washington Red Raspberries, new supporter of the podcast, sharing real stories about farming in Washington State, and some of those stories certainly have been red raspberries, and we appreciate that community's support for what we're doing here. So 1992 was when you started working around dairy farms.
Yes.
What were you doing before that?
Before that, I was just working in agriculture down in the south. I was planting corn, grafting peach trees, apples.
And down south
avocados.
Is where?
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yes.
So is that, you come from Mexico?
Yes, I'm from Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
Michoacan State.
Okay.
Yes, central of Michoacan.
So was your family in farming there? Did you grow up around farming?
I just grew up, on that area where we was doing with my parents. We was planting corn and building orchards for somebody else, but nothing about animals.
Yeah,
nothing about animals. Yeah, just outside, and on the trees. Population, the avocado population down there.
So why did you come to the U.S.?
Here, we're a big family. I just thank the Almighty and my parents, and somehow they decide to have a big family. We're 13 total, 13 kids.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. And now it's really surprising, we have 3 or 4.
I have 3, and I can't imagine having more than that.
So, yeah, we're 13 total, and I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I have 6 on my right and 6 on my left. So the reason to come to this country is to help our family, because down there you have to pay all the school,
Mm.
uh, like books and clothes, and down there is a little bit more expensive to even to go to school.
Mm.
Now it's different. Now it's way
getting better.
different than how it was. But yeah, before it was kind of hard times, and the plan was to come this way, help my parents, and support the rest of the family.
Yeah.
And going, and I in my dreams I was thinking like going back,
Mm-hmm.
but since I came here, I started working here, and I met my wife here too.
Mm.
So yeah, it changed everything.
Yeah.
And thanks to everything, I just um, I'm in this place of the world, and I really love it.
Mm.
If I sometimes I travel down Mexico, but when I don't feel like I'm home, I call here my home because I've been here more years than down there, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the difference in growing food from there to here? Because you were around farming and growing food there and here. How is it different?
Um, Down there, because we were always working for somebody else, is I think it's not much difference when you have the in your mind than the product that you offer, no matter to your neighbors or you have a stand or something to sell it. Um, in your mind, if you trying to do trying your best to offer the best product, it's not much difference. Down there is a little bit harder because we didn't have any equipment.
Everything by hand.
Everything by hand.
Oof.
So yeah, I remember we built an orchard for a guy. This one was 1,500 trees,
Mm-hmm.
avocado trees, and since we planted them until probably 10 years later, and we was spraying with a backpack,
Oof.
so it took weeks to
Yeah.
to do that. But everything, by hand, that was more harder. Now it's better. It's tractors everywhere, and the agriculture changed a lot down there too.
Yeah.
But here, the same thing. I'm happy. We have the equipment, and we can just get the things better and faster. So
Do you still have a lot of family down in Mexico?
yes, I still have my parents. They're still alive. My sisters, nephews, and we're a big family down there too. And here I have my 5 brothers and 1 sister. We're here in the United States.
Have any of them been able to come up and visit the farm here in Washington?
I have some of my brothers. They're working here with me. I have 3 brothers working with me right now.
But it's not like your dad has been able to see this farm.
He came a couple years back. Since let me see. They applied for the visa and everything, and they came every year after that. So let's say for 6 years, they was coming every year. And 2 years ago, he was cleaning with the machete, the fence here.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, Dad, we have the tractor and we have the equipment here.
Yeah.
To do. He's like, son, this is some exercise for me. So
It's just what he does.
this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
Just get early morning, grab the machete and just working around a little bit. And I say,
Yeah.
well, you don't have to finish it. Just
Yeah.
if you're happy, that's the main thing,
Yeah.
At this point, I told him, if you're happy doing what you're doing, it's better for him, to make him happy too.
What does he think about his son doing this farm, having this
Well,
operation?
For them, it's I think it's a bless. I consider myself lucky, to land in this side of the country here, and like I told Garris's family, thank to to them, I can extend my other hand and help more people.
Yeah.
Because really, this thing is not only a chance for me, but it's a chance for more people to get better, including my family and including people. And sometimes I don't know them, but my if I help somebody, I just help them because it's in my heart. It's not because it's not because I know them or not. So
Your parents proud of you for what you're doing?
I hope, I hope, I hope they're proud of. Yeah, they're happy. They're really happy. Yeah, because that's the way. Then I really help them to everybody. You know, my brothers and sisters and nephews too. You know, down there the things wasn't really good by then, but yeah, I'm just I still thinking. You know, then I came from there, and I never forget. Then the struggle we went through it, and at this point, you know, here's struggling too. But hey, it's part of the life.
Yeah.
It's part of the life.
So, 1996, you started working here for the dairy farmer who was here. Now this is your farm. How did that all happen? What all went on?
It started with a plan. You know, the plan wasn't really to be in this place. It started with a conversation with Bill about to own something in my life. You know, I didn't have anything, just a car. You know, and stuff, but not a house or anything. So I asked him, "Hey, Bill, how about if you know if I can buy you an acre or mobile home or something?" So he told me, he gave me a few questions too. He said, "Do you really like to work at the farm?" I said, "Yeah, I'm happy, you know, and thank you for keeping me here. I did mistakes like everyone, but you know, he was really good teacher, really good sponsor." So he wanted, the plan was to build a herd milking, you know, around like 80 cows or so, and I just moved to rent another place and move on. That was the plan.
Start your own new farm.
My own new farm, yeah. But our plans sometimes, you know, it doesn't go like the way that we want, and because I believe in supreme power, God decides to just take Bill away of this world.
What happened?
He got sick. He got cancer, pancreatic cancer, and he passed away in November 2014. Years back, you know, he teach me how to make the orders of everything, most of the things. He traveled around the world, helping people understand the agriculture. He went to Africa, he went to Russia, he went to Kazakhstan and all that stuff.
Wow.
So he was really a good guide, you know, then like to help more people, not only here, but around the world too. And that's one of the things too that I want to keep doing it. You know, if first of all, of course, I have to be well here in order to offer more help to more people than they really want to learn about the natural stuff and the good care of the farming.
What was that like when Bill got cancer here on the farm? How did you keep it going? It's so hard, but it's a dairy farm. You can't stop.
Yeah. Really, when his dad passed away, because his dad passed away in an accident, he got an accident, and really amazing how strong he was by then. And yeah, every single day he was here, even his dad, you know, 4:30 in the morning, and his dad was here just checking for the little things that we're missing when we're busy on big stuff. and we miss him a lot when he passed away. Um, so when Bill uh, went to doctors and they told him what was happening, he came. That was 5 a.m. He never missed a day. But a few days, like a month before, he was he missed 3 days. So I told him, you better go and get a well checkup and make sure then nothing bad. Uh, he was a strong guy, but he's like, no, I think everything's fine. It's just a little thing. But later on, he feel like, no, I better go and do it. So when they discovered that was 5 a.m. and he came from his house because I show up early. I was in charge of feeding animals and everything. So he came and he gave me that bad notice, and at that point I told him, you know what, don't worry about the farm. I'm here. Nothing will be changed. I'll keep going. You go and take care of yourself and make sure that you get in well, and I'll keep doing it. But for a few months, my head was spinning,
Yeah.
in circles because I still miss him. I still miss him.
So how quickly did he pass then after finding out? I know pancreatic cancer is a
Uh,
terrible, terrible disease.
It went fast. Yeah, it went fast. Yeah, and that was the hard time for us to see him going so fast.
What did you talk about with him at that time when he knew that he was going and he didn't have much time left? Did you talk then about the farm and what was going to happen?
That's when the plan changed. He by then his sons, they didn't want to keep farming,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Well, you're in line. So you really want to do it? Here's the chance. I'm I'll give you the chance to do it. I'll do a plan, then you can just keep doing it because there's good times and bad times on
Yeah.
farming." So he say, for some reason it's a bad time, you can be prepared for it. So by then is when everything changed, and I was eligible to be in the front of this farm.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's something then uh it's kind of a little hard for me
Very
still.
hard.
But yeah, but really really lucky, and that's one of my things. I still here to just keep his. I know nobody replaces nobody because we're different, but I trying to keep his legacy until then, or I'll just keep doing it and trying to just do the things that I can do better, to offer a good quality product.
What was the last thing that he said to you about the farm? Do you remember?
Um, he was worried. He was worried because really I didn't have any experience on business and stuff like that. But I believe he's still watching me from up there and he's helping. That's my thinking. Uh, it didn't. We was we was really we didn't have much time to talking about the business and about the things that I'm confronting and all that. But I was with him until the end. When he passed away, I took all the bills to the same account that we're using by then, and I came home and I didn't see him, really really well. I went to help in the middle of the night when he was falling down from bed. So I was here. I just went mowed the lawn, everything,
Oh,
because
yeah.
all the kids, they was studying and they're away. So
Mm.
really, he adopted me like a son,
Mm.
and that's one of the things. And then I've been really so grateful. Then
Yeah.
they do that, and yeah, I went to when I see, then he wasn't really, he was suffering a lot, and the last days we communicate just by grabbing each other the hand, and I talked to him, this is what I'm doing, and he just squeezed my hand if he approved the things and stuff. So that's how he ends his last second in this world. We was just by the hand. We was tied by the hand. So I asked him if he really trusts me, and if he really, I was suffering too, seeing him on that situation. So I told him, Bill, if you want to go, just go. I'll keep doing my efforts to keep this farm running, and he approved that. He squeezed my hand. He said, okay. So that was the last minute. Yeah.
So you probably think about him every day when you're working on this farm.
Yes. Sometimes I think I do the things different because I'm learning. He was really smart and how to do the stuff, but
there's always new information, right?
Yeah, but thanks to him, then all the stuff that I know, then I still remember him every single day, and like you said, I like those clear, bright nights, and I look to the sky, and like you say, I know probably he's one of up in the sky, one of the stars he's watching.
Yeah.
And I hope that he approved what I'm doing too, because that's one of the things, and I'm just thinking on it.
So what's it like to run a farm? There's a lot of pressure. What's the hardest thing these days to keep the farm going?
It's a lot of pressure, yeah, for sure. This life is not easy, and like you say, I used to say nothing is easy in this life, but these times, all the time we have rules, and we respect all the rules, because that's the way to work in peace, like when you respect the rules and all the laws and everything, but at this moment, all these new rules and new stuff versus the farming, it really hurts us. It hurt us to. Our product is not really well paid, and it's more rules and more taxes and all that stuff. Then somehow we have to go through it. And in farming is not really, probably right now I don't feel like it's too much pressure doing the things, but it's more to feel all those new rules, and they're popping up all the time.
Yeah, as a former farm worker and now a farmer, what's your perspective on some of the things that have been happening with farm workers? Like this year, a big issue is the state changing how farmers have to pay farm workers.
I've been working for since 14 years old. I started to work full time. I only went 6 years to school, and since then I've been learning a lot about how the employer treats employees and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, I've been in that bad situations when they don't appreciate probably the effort you do. But those are the things that I don't implement here in my farm. I not only they're my workers, I consider them like my family. Some of them are my family members, but another ones they don't, and I try to be fair with everybody. If on these new rules, overtime and stuff, um, I don't know why, um, but here I give benefits. Sometimes they need to investigate exactly what, uh, how, or why they decide to just push that overtime.
Mm.
Yeah, if it's like I told the workers, I'm not saying then yeah I'm not gonna pay you overtime. No, of course. If they I know then they're good workers, and if I have to pay them overtime, it's fine. But like you told them, sometimes the laws or the lawmakers, or they don't see the other way. They're not being in situations like I've been in, being a worker now, being in charge of the farm. Like it's lots of things then had to be checked on both sides. And yeah, if somebody do a mistake, well, it's like everything, we have to pay for it. If we do, if I do a mistake, I'm considered, uh, I recognize my mistake, and if consequences come, well, that's
Yeah.
the things. But we can just probably, uh, lawmakers, they need to make sure then they can talk to people too about it, because sometimes they trying to help, but then at the end they're not helping. They just doing more.
Why is that? Why aren't they helping? Like with this overtime thing, don't workers make more money then, or how does it really work then?
They make more money, yes, but if they, if for some reason they force them to just work 40 hours, like the unions, or like some unions, like you say, I don't know if all the unions are
Yeah.
the same,
Everything's different.
but they need to ask the worker if he's happy the way that he's living, because they make more money, but they need to pay more taxes too,
Mm.
and some benefits than, like here, like in my position, I'm given the housing.
Mm. So you provide housing for your
I
workers.
provide housing. I
Do
help,
they have to pay you for that?
no.
Oh, well, for free.
No, so that's something. Then yeah, we
That's
try
worth
to
a lot of
cover.
money.
So we just provide the housing, um, 1 week of vacations, and another week paid.
Mm-hmm.
So there, I just share beef with them.
Mm.
We just get a steer or something, and just send it to the butcher plant, and I spread the meat to them, and so they have, I help them some too, financial, if they really need.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, sometimes they have emergencies, and hey, like I told them, it's okay. It's part of the of to being in this place.
Yeah.
So sometimes, if they don't see those good benefits, and other ones, I bet then lots of farmers, they helping more, or they giving more incentives and all that. At the end of the year, yeah, I just do some Christmas bonus too.
Mm-hmm.
So all that, I think is good. I think it's good to treat them that way. That way they can feel comfortable too. Then you care about them. Plus, every single day you have to just like I told them. Uh, every Saturday we just, it's a lady, then she's selling tamales, so I'm buying the tamales every Saturday. Yeah, so you have to treat them like part of your team, and they are, because without without employers, sometimes they kind of little lost, but without employees, they're not an employer too.
Yeah.
So it's I told them I'm even like you guys with a different kind of schedule to do, but I'm not considered myself above them or below them. So it's just something that we can just work together the same way.
So, but you're saying that the lawmakers aren't aren't paying attention to all of these elements of basically the community that you're creating around these jobs. So what happens then? I mean, what's bad about their decisions, and what's happening like with this overtime thing?
I think in that first of all, we wasn't doing anything wrong, because it's supposed to be under the law. Then farmers, why we should pay overtime before.
Yeah.
That's the reason we use and no matter if I'm paying right now overtime, I still having the same. They still have the same benefits.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because farming had that exemption,
yeah,
like flight attendants and realtors, and there are other people who have that exemption, and farming did too, where time and a half wasn't required after 40 hours.
yep. And here my workers, they not only because they're working here, but you can just talk to them and they're happy the way then I treat them and when they need something to go with their families, and I'm willing to just cover them, and that way they can be happy with their families too. Uh, and I think the over time, like I say, we wasn't doing anything wrong. Why they come up with that without checking the most of the farm workers? If we're fair, they should check the other person before they start to just impose some things.
Do the farm workers, do your employees like the whole time and a half thing? Has it been good for them?
They're okay. They're okay right now. I let them know what's going on, and but in the other way they like, well, yeah. Some of them now, then when they're working, the wife and the guy, now they need to just pay other than just
Mm-hmm.
So I tell them, well, that's the way to live in this world, in this country. So they're happy, and but on the other hand, they're like, I'm not sure if they really want to keep going or not.
If you were to speak directly to those lawmakers, what would you say to them about all of this?
Well, I think I'll just tell them just they have to consider the farm work is not easy. This time is we've been hitting kind of a little hard. Commodities, the commodity prices are so high. Our milk product is the milk price is not really doing well.
Mm-hmm.
So they need a balance. They need to balance the things. If because for me, if what I'm thinking is like if my product is well paid, I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, let's spread them and the people then they're helping you to build the pie, but if it's not fair, the looks like we're just being just hitting hard in different directions and not really good, well-paid products. So how can we just support all this pressure? They can get more be involved more in farm workers because I don't know if they really been in a farm or not, or made some of them they farmers in a different situations or something. But yeah, they'll probably be good if they can just check the farm and understand how hard it is to have farm and being fair. I think I ask him to be fair in both ways. I understand that they wanna they wanna do better for workers, but they need to do better for the uh, employers too.
Hmm.
Is what do we what it'll take? I'm not sure. We just tell them like uh, then this is some hard situations and we have to be together. For some reason, we put him there like a leaders, or leading the the state. So yeah, you not only checking. We're not gonna compare Seattle with this area, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want to increase big amount of pace up there, but it's not the same down here. So
Mm-hmm.
if they check in one thing, they need to check the other side too. It's just like uh, they need to be fair on both ways, and before they pass some laws and that they can get together with people that really works on a farm, and if they approve it, hey, it's fine. But if they disapprove, not only because one doing mistake, they want to generalize everybody. Probably that's not fair. Then they find something wrong in this piece of the land, and they're like, okay, the whole land is bad. No, I think in my view, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's the way to probably to level the things. Is checking all the areas. They'll do damage to lots of people. Then probably that's the people. Then we have to check with them before we decide to do something and just passing like a law.
Mm.
That's my view. I'm not sure if I'm if I'm right or not. But why they decide to do that when they're not really checking on the whole line, not only on one side of the hose. They need to check both sides,
Yeah.
So
what do you think is going to happen?
Well, at this point, I'm not sure exactly what will happen. Our goal is to just keep doing the best we can here. Like I say, we've been working with the Department of Ecology and all the all the departments that involved to be in the state and dairy farms and so we're not doing we're doing everything right to keep going, and I think we're not doing anything wrong at this point. So if that's something, then they they think about it, up there, the if they need to check because they really will be a big damage to not only one little thing. It'll be a big disaster if they trying to take that over time, on the back years, and plus I think it's 12% they want to charge.
Well, that had been talked about at one time.
Well, I wonder who really imposed this or what benefits are for who. Because at this point, it's no benefits for the workers. I thought about it.
Hmm.
And we used to say down in South, that when they do that, is they have a cup of coffee or something. They stick the finger and they just go over your lips. That's how I think that's how they trying to do. It's not really benefit for the whole.
So you think there's something else going on? Somebody else who benefits?
I think so. And I mean, I think it's fair to allow them to do it, but they need to think. They need to think about agriculture too. Like cities need the agriculture. We're the ones that supply all the vegetables and food and everything. We need them too because big factories, then they can build tractors and all those machines that we use. So to live this world, I think better is like if we treat equally each other, not trying to rip each other.
Mm.
That'll be a better world. But to make sure then, or to, for that we need the leaders to be fair, and they need to think about it,
Mm-hmm.
before they decide these crazy ideas.
What do you think about some of the things that people pushing this whole idea have said? I know, like the Supreme Court and even Justice Gonzalez wrote quite a few things about farm work and how basically it was bad and farm workers were working for sub-poverty wages and there was racism and all of these things that kind of went into his decision on this. What do you think about all that? You say you think there's something else going on with all of this. Is that a part of this?
I don't know exactly how Judge Gonzalez view on his farm view or times when I don't know if he really works for a farm or at any farm or his relatives or somebody, but if he thinks that he needs to probably at least prove them why he thinks that, because really we come here to work, like I told you when I came to this country, I'm here to help my family and help people. Yeah, but if he's deciding to do this, then we're just working like his race and everything. I don't think so. I think it depends how you treat the people. That's the way that they treat you. And in my mind, I always say then it's better to do friends. It's more easy to do friends than enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly why Judge Gonzalez has this decision. What's his view, but or where he went to work, then they treat him that bad, or if he really be in a farm. I don't think I'm an example of a farmer, but I'll invite him to come and I'll treat him here the best way that he can be comfortable to.
Yeah.
That way he can have another idea.
So tell me about your farm. Talk about the process. What do you do to produce milk?
Well, being this farm or at my place, we start about 5 a.m. Start to feeding the animals.
Mm-hmm.
We're milking 300 cows.
Mm-hmm.
3 times a day. Only the high producers,
Mm-hmm.
where they have the high peak. After 35 days in milk after deliver the baby. So they're the ones that they been milked 3 times. The other ones we only milking twice.
So do you keep them in like separate pens?
Yes, we had 3 pens.
Okay.
3 pens with 105 stalls,
Mm-hmm.
and we only put 100 cows. That way they can have 5 stalls free to live comfortable. And
Yeah.
we start, at 5, feeding the animals, and of course the milker starts around 4 a.m. So they show up 4 a.m. 3:30 they can prepare.
Mm-hmm.
They can just drink a coffee before they start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I allowed them to do that. I told them, if you're happy, you can do a better job. So
Yeah.
So I told them, just come in, clock in, get your coffee, fresh coffee, and start to prepare the equipment. Go bring the animals, and and after all that, they put the first pen in, the first 100 cows, and around 5:30 we put the second string in. By then I have we're like 2 or 3 people outside. We clean the stalls every single day. Every time we put the cows in, we clean all the manure out. We bed them every single day with wheat straw.
Straw?
Yes, we have wheat straw. So we have a big top grinder that we can chop all those big bales and make sure everything's clean. I use a little bit of lime. That way, every other day, I lime stalls just a little bit to use to kill the bacteria and make sure everything's is okay. We do that. I lock the cows. We lock the string after they come out from the milking parlor. We check the computer, see which cows they're being in heat. If someone is, not doing well or something, not only visually, but we check the computer, make sure we have a program that allows us to keep track of production and estrus and, a really good program.
Yeah.
So we do that. We take care of them. We check water troughs clean them every other day. And after that, when all the animals, being fed, including little babies, the heifer place, which we have another 350 heifers replacement. After everything's done, we gather everybody and we do the coffee break.
Nice.
We have 10, 15 minutes. If we have to discuss some things, I extend it to half an hour. And we're
Staff meeting.
the staff meeting. Yeah. Sometimes we have a plan. I try to write a plan the day before, but at the dairy farm, not every time, is the plan that you shoot for.
Things have the tendency to change on the go.
Yeah, and if something, including equipment, including personal, and all the stuff, then we have to deal with it.
So every day.
Every single day.
Every day, every day.
Every day, we just do that around noon. We just do the stuff, cleaning, make sure all the animals are happy, and we go to, do the maintenance on equipment, graduation, giving the vaccines to the animals when we graduate them and everything. So we have a really good program to dehorn them. We do the paste. We do those pills to make sure, just mitigate the pain a little bit on little calves and everything. So
why do you have to dehorn them? Why do you have to take their horns off?
Well, it sounds kind of probably a funny thing, but I have couple animals and they've been, leaving the little button there a little bit, and animals know they're smart. So they know if they need to defend it from some of them, or they want to move from one lockup to the next one because they think the fresh grain is there, or the fresh feed.
So then they use their horns
to... They use the horns to move the other one. They know then they have an advantage on that.
Do they hurt the other cows then if they have a horn?
They do. They know it. So, it's better to not having that or just dehorn them, in order to make sure they're not damaging themselves, and they can work better, they're on the lockups, and it looks like they're happy, and that's the key of I think of farmer, have a happy cows, like they used to say, happy cows. That's one of the things that we're trying to do.
So you think that's important, how comfortable the cow is?
That's really important. I think here I used to say to the salesmen when they offer some new product, I told them I'll, thanks for giving me advice and everything. If we try a new product, I told them I'm not going only because it's cheap or because it looks better. I told them the cows has the last word.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to make sure that the cows is the motor of their farm, the milking cows.
Yep.
All of them, but, the milking cows are really so important. Then you keep them happily, that's how they can be happy and produce really good milk.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
because some people, I think, have it in their minds, and some people say this and spread this idea that, to get more milk out of the cows, farmers are pushing them really hard and making them uncomfortable and abusing them in some cases, and you're saying it's the opposite of that.
Of course, yeah, it's not. I don't think that's true or not on my case, because even the units we have, you just do your pre-dip, clean them really well, attach the unit, and the unit have the chip. Then, when the cow doesn't produce, amount of milk, the unit retract itself, and sometimes the cows they still have milk in it,
Mm-hmm.
but they're so happy. They if they're not happy, they'll start to just say, "Hey, don't do that," or they're really smart.
Yeah.
Animals they're really smart. So no, I think we're treating the animals um, really. Sometimes we're treating the animals better than our members, our family members. uh, but it's not to compare animals with humans, of course not. But animals, they're really smart too, and sometimes to think what the animals think is just to treat them. If you're not working with animals and no matter what, you're trying to just give advice without doing the job, is not really. I don't think it's a good thing to get advice. I'm not giving advice to a lawyer or
Yeah.
engineer, because I'm not an engineer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know
Yeah.
about lots. So their farming is a little bit of something than of everything. A little bit of everything.
There does tend to be quite a bit of that of people who aren't farmers trying to tell farmers how to do their thing. It seems people who think that they know how it should be done better than farmers do.
Yeah, like everything, I respect all the information comes from outside, because I'm willing to learn. Every day I think I'm learning new things. But is lots of every farm. I've been working in different farms. Not many, but the farms that I've been working, every farm and every farmer is different.
Mm-hmm.
So, like always, if you see something then you don't like in the other farm or the other farmer, well, now that I have the opportunity to put my ideas and different ideas from even my workers, I told them I'm open for ideas, if because that's the way to
Yeah.
to be better, just open mind for good ideas. If,
I can tell with the way that you're talking about the cows and everything that you know about the animals, you're what people will call a cow man, or you're a cow. You really study the animals, and it's almost kind of an art. It sounds like, to be around them and know if they're doing well or not.
Yes, it's just it's another thing, like being with your kids. When you know your kids, if they're a little bit sad, how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Animals the same. You can just walk because we're just checking in every day. 3 times a day at the heifer place. You have to walk and make sure they have clean water. They well bed. The bedding are clean, and food enough, in the front. That way they can eat it, and so the same thing. You can notice right away when an animal it doesn't feel good. You're like, no, she's not doing good. When I've been catching a few animals, like everybody, my milkers, sometimes they don't catch an animal, then probably they a little bit kind of not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
So because I walk the pens every day, and I can catch an animal, then she's not looking good.
She
So
needs to be checked out.
I bring it into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We have a separate little pen where we can milk the sick cows and fresh cows. So um, there's when you find out, like, sometimes a minimum thing like a diarrhea,
Mm-hmm.
but when you have him there on that pen that you can just check him all the time, you notice right away, and you're like, okay, this is what happened.
Mm.
So yeah, checking animals, is an art.
Sometimes it can even just be a sore foot or different thing, like feet
Yes.
issues are big for
Yeah.
cows because they like to stand up most of the time, right?
They like to stand. They're the same. They have their hours when they sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and when they're walking around and they not feeling good, they let you know. Some of them they let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is to check them and make sure then you have your workers, be aware of the animals when they're not feeling good. Just say something. I encourage my people to just let me know if for some reason you don't know what it is. Just write the number. Let me know which animal wasn't looking good, and I'll go and check it. And by then we can decide what we need to do.
How did you learn this art of managing and taking care of cows and animals? That not everybody knows how to do that, and even some people who try don't have the natural talent that it takes to do what you do. How did you get so good at that?
Well, I think I'm not really that good, because I bet there is more farmers than they entire life they're farming, and they know lots of stuff than probably I don't have it here, or I'm not discovering it yet. But I've been learning from my former boss, Bill.
Mm.
He teach me lots of stuff, then thanks God and thank him, then he give me the opportunity to farming and to be in charge of this farm. Uh, and just learning, reading the magazines, listening to farmers, and they've been farming for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told my workers, this is more people outside of the farm working for us or with us
Mm-hmm.
than what we're here. I have nine employees, and we have technicians, nutritionists, veterinaries, friends, and
Yeah.
lots of people that really helping us with ideas to be better every single day.
So how did you come to this farm? You talked about your former boss, Bill, and this was his farm, right?
Yes. His dad, I think his dad started farm here. And I started to work for Bill in 1996.
Okay.
Since then, I became to be a milker,
Mm-hmm.
helping him outside a little bit. And later on, we're we got along really well.
Mhm.
I asked him to teach me good things, about the animals, because I love animals.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, then I don't know how I came with this skill that I can move animals just moving my hands. I don't have. We have a pen that is 3 alleys, and if I have to separate an animal from those pens, even if they're loose, I just go there, talk to them. Some of them, I only talking in my mind, and I don't know. It's something. Then sometimes I'm not I'm kind of surprised too how they act, because I really grab them by, a little bit, a little touch, and they start to walking outside. I open the gate and they come out. So all that is really good, but most of them is just learning from people, because when I start to work here, I was just doing different jobs, outside and inside. But when
On farms, or were you working around animals before here?
1992, there's when I started to work with animals here in
Mm.
this here in United States.
Mm.
Yeah, but I was just milking cows, working outside a little bit. But after I came to work for Bill, I learned how to do the IVs, how to help the animals to or the mamas to deliver the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What are the IVs for?
we just do the calcium, 23%. Of course, the IV. Sometimes you have to do the either week. You have to do the IV. Is more effective.
Mm.
Any medicine you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
is more effective when you do the
So it's just for cows that aren't feeling well.
Yes, just for cows. We do here. We have a program that we do one bottle, which is 500 milliliters of calcium, 23%. Every fresh cow after they deliver the baby, we do we do that. We do the calcium. We give some vitamins, and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing what makes this all work, and especially, the story about what happened with your former boss. That gets me choked up a little bit. Because I cannot imagine going through that, but then having that sense of duty and yet privilege that he trusted you to carry on his legacy.
There's something, there's something. Yeah, it really, made me a little bit, and it's, I had to accept it and his decisions, and I'm not nothing that I can do, because at some point, yeah, everybody will, or it doesn't for sure. Then someday we'll go away from this world, but. Sometimes why the good people goes first, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really miss him, and yeah, no, it's really like you say, I'm blessed, and they give me a chance to be here, and I'll do my efforts, and thanks for all the help, and the dairy association, they they helped me a lot too, to understand the stuff, and I know that there's a lot of people working, and good people working for farmers. Then that's our goal, to be better. But they, like you say, I hope that lots of people up there with the power, they can just think about it and just do the same. They can do fair things, and that way we can just keep going.
Well, I know you probably have tons of work to do, so I'm really thankful that you took this time to share your story and your wisdom and your perspective on all of this. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for being here. It's my pleasure to you guys come to this place. I hope then you guys have having fun, and then yeah, well, we are.
This is the Real Food, Real People podcast. These are the stories of the people who grow your food.